Hey everyone, Shadowsun here, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm talking about a post that I did in 2019 that was a lead-in to the crystal series that is coming up this week and into the next few weeks of this month. And those posts I also wrote in 2019, and this video is discussing crystals and the versatility of crystals. So crystals are one of the most used tools in my practice. I use them for everything related to magic and anything related to healing, along with a few other uses. Because I believe, the way crystals form, and I'm really into understanding where they come from from a geological perspective, I feel like it helps me understand how they form and their direct connection to the earth and to nature, and I feel like they can be a way to help you learn and connect with the elements in a sense. Not entirely, it's not the same thing as going outside and feeling the air, but I feel like, crystals can assist in that. So crystals can be used and reused for all kinds of purposes, like I said, magically speaking and healing wise. For example, I've used obsidian for protection, like I mentioned in the post. I've also used obsidian for grounding, like I mentioned in the blog post in the description. I also mention how I've used carnelian to work with the element of fire, and I've also used, not just because of the associations that I've read in books, but also because I've done a lot of experimenting with carnelian, and it helps me with motivation, along with protection as well. In addition, I've used clear quartz to connect with the element of earth, and I didn't mention that in the post, but that's just one example or two examples out of several examples that I can give. I used quartz because of the fact that it was the one I had on hand when I was doing this elemental work with crystals. And I've used several other crystals for healing. I've used crystals like rose quartz for love. I've used crystals like rhodochrosite for emotional working and healing as well. So those are just a few examples. I've also used crystals for divination. I'm sure you guys recognize this bag if you can see it well enough. This bag has several crystals in it. I use crystals for divination. So I've used several crystals. I have several crystals set aside, different ones. Moonstone, I believe, is in here. I know quartz is in that bag for sure. And along with a bunch of other crystals that I can't even remember all of them. I've used crystals for divination for years, and it's really helped me to get down to the practical side of things. So if I really want to know an answer about something, I feel like crystals just give it to me, like right then and there, and I don't get any like other things involved. And I feel like crystals can give you a good measure of detail as well. And you can use not just crystals for divination, but you can use regular stones as well, along with just from your backyard, or along with crystals as well. It just depends on what you have available to you. And also I want to point out, while I'm mentioning that as well, that it is excuse me, my throat is dry. It is important to note that crystals, whether they are raw or tumbled, can be used. So if all you have is tumbled pieces, then that's what you use. If you have raw pieces, then that's what you use. You use what you have available to you at this point. Further, I want to point out that crystals can also be used in all kinds of ways in magic. I know you can make grids for different things. You can make elixirs for different things. And I know I mentioned elixirs in the blog post. And I do want to caution you, if you are going to do elixirs, please do your research. Do not consume it if you know that you've used a crystal that can't be in water. Understand what crystals you're using, why you're using them. Do your reading. Understand if they can be in water. And if they can be in water, hold off on consumption. If you're going to use consumption for your crystal elixirs, be very careful. Be very cautious about what you use them for. I've only made a few crystal elixirs where I actually did consume those, and I made sure that I could put those crystals in water, or as a safe side, just in case there was something else going on, like say I accidentally grabbed the wrong crystal, or if, for the sake of argument, that I did not realize that that crystal could not be in water. Rather than take the chance, I do an indirect method, and I'll get into that in a later video on crystal elixirs. Further, I think that crystals can be added to other spells in Magick. So I've used crystals to help with candles or candle magic spells to add energy to them. I've used crystals in mojo bags, or I've used crystals in spell jars. I've used crystals in my like for amulets or enchanted objects that I've created. I've added a crystal to it. Crystals are so versatile and can be used in so many different ways. The sky's the limit for the most part, I think, magically speaking. The only exception, I think, could be if the crystal has been tampered with in some way. But even then, I don't know. When I think of like tampering with crystals, I think of like crystals that are like man-made. I don't know how I feel about it too much, but that's a whole nother video. I think crystals can be used in all kinds of ways, and healing is one of them. Healing, you can use crystals to help heal. Obviously, you need to do all of the, I know that a lot of people really like to use crystals for healing, and that's great, but you also need to do the medical things as well. Let's not forget that. So if you're going to use crystals along with all the medical stuff, I want to talk about healing as well, which will be a whole separate video. But I've used lots of crystals, like I said, rose quartz, I've used clear quartz, I've used rhodochrosite or rhodochrosite, I've used hematite, is great for grounding, you know, so on and so forth. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I encourage you to read the blog post below, and I hope you all are having a great weekend in this case. And if you guys like what you see, please like, subscribe, and share. Speak soon, and many blessings.